In this tutorial, you'll learn how to make a civil 3D surface from polylines in cross-section. So here we have our desired situation. The white section line is an existing round section. The surface looks like that. The yellow feature is a polyline just drawn in here for visualization. This is what I kind of want to fill this area in with material, and I want to be able to calculate the results. So I need a surface to calculate the volumes in Civil 3D. So right here I've just created a bunch of polylines to make things look correct. These are section views created from Civil 3D sample lines. Everything looks fine, but I can't make a surface from this. So I'm actually just going to get rid of those yellow lines. I'm going to recreate them in a different way. So this lesson assumes that you know how to make a corridor. So there's my basic surface. I have an alignment goes up the center, and I just have a basic corridor. There's my assembly. In this case, it's a 30-meter line to the right and a 30-meter line to the left. When I go into View Edit Sections, I'll see 60 meters of my surface. Right, then I built the corridor. So again, it's a flat 60-meter wide corridor. Right, now the trick here is I'll pick the corridor and I'll go to Section Editor. Alright, here's the first station in my corridor. Now what I do is I use the 3D polyline command. I'll start at this endpoint, and I just, by eye, connect the dots for myself. Right, I'll go to the next section. Another 3D polyline. It's essential that you use a 3D polyline, because if you use a 2D polyline, it's just not going to work. Now remember, what's happening here is we're looking at the drawing as if you're standing right on your alignment, and essentially our Z is pointing up in this case. Z is in this direction. So what looks like a regular old 2D polyline to us here in section view, when we look at it in plan, it's an actual 3D polyline. It's actually going to look dead straight in plan when I show you. I'll just finish off the last couple here, and then we'll be done. Okay, that's it. It's the end of our corridor. Alright, those yellow features, those are my 3D polylines that I just drew. So just to illustrate it a little bit better, I'll pick them all and I'll open up the object viewer so that you can see. Right, there they are. So they look straight in plan, but of course they're 3D polylines. Now that I have 3D polylines, I can create a new surface. In this case, I'll call it FG for finished ground. Don't really care what the style is right now. I'm going to make a selection set of all of those yellow 3D polylines, and I'll add them to my FG surface as standard break lines. And you definitely want to use standard break lines, because standard break lines take each Z elevation of each vertex and add that elevation to the surface definition. I'm going to increase my supplementing factor here to 5. It defaults to something like 20, but I want a few more points along this, so I'll set this to 5. Alright, there we go. Now, my surface kind of triangulates a little bit outside here, just like pretty much any surface would. So just like any surface, it needs a little bit of, TLC. In this case, I need a boundary. So I'm not going to bother with a polyline boundary. What I'll do is I'll just delete some of the there we go. Delete some of the lines outside of where they should be. Like that, we don't need. This one we don't need. I think that's probably, there's one more over here. Okay, my surface is finished. Right, here's my sections. Let's see what they look like when I add the surface I just created. There's my FG. I'll pick a different style so it looks different. And there you go. Creating a new surface from cross sections. Again, the key here is you can't just draw the polylines here in the section views. You have to do it while editing the corridor in section mode. That's it for today's tutorial. My name is Matt Kohlberg. Thanks for watching.